The call came at 0600 hours. Elena was in her cabin staring at the last frame of ROV footage on her laptop when her satellite phone rang. The number was blocked. She answered anyway. The man on the other end had the voice of someone who had spent a long career being the last person you wanted to hear from. Flat, measured, the kind of calm that is not calm at all, but is the thing that sits on top of something much less calm and holds it down. He said his name was Caldwell. He said he was calling from the office of Naval Intelligence. He said he understood that the RV Meridian had located a sonar contact in the North Atlantic that matched the Orfitter's United States Navy vessel, and that certain footage had been recorded by a remotely operated vehicle deployed from her deck. He said all of that in one sentence, without pausing. Then he said, "Do not transmit that footage. Do not deploy the ROV again. Do not attempt to make contact with the vessel. Maintain your current position and wait for a Navy support vessel which will arrive at your location within 18 hours. Elena listened to all of it. Then she said, "There are 99 names on a wall in Groton, Connecticut. I want to know what happened to them." Caldwell was quiet for a moment. When he spoke again, the flatness in his voice had something underneath it that had not been there before. Not anger. Something older than anger. He said, "Miss Rourke, your grandfather was a good man. He kept his word for 56 years, and that was not easy, and we understood that it was not easy, but what is on the bottom of that ocean needs to stay on the bottom of that ocean. That is not a request. Do you understand me?" Elena ended the call. She went to find Price. He was in the operations room, running the RAVU footage again on the main monitor, frame by frame, the last 3 seconds before the lights went out. He looked up when she came in. He could read her face. "I need to go down," she said. Price looked at her for a long moment. He was a careful man. He had done dangerous work in dangerous places for 20 years, and he was still alive because he was careful. "The diving bell," he said, "not a wetsuit. The bell. We keep you in the bell and we keep the tether on, and the moment anything moves on that sonar we pull you up. No arguments." "No arguments," Elena said. It took 3 hours to prep the diving bell. Elena used the time to go through everything she had. The torn page, the photograph, the raw footage, the sonar logs going back to when they first picked up the Redfin contact. She built a picture in her mind of what she was going down to, and she held it there and looked at it the way you look at something you have decided to do and are not going to an undecide. The bell went into the water at 0930. The descent was slow. Price kept the tether tight and monitored the sonar from the surface and talked to her through the comms the whole way down. At 1,000 feet, he told her the sonar was clear. At 2,000 feet, he told her he had the Redfin on the screen. At 2,600 feet, he told her the secondary contact had appeared again, circling the hull, same as before. At 2,800 feet, the lights of the diving bell found the Redfin. She was exactly as the ROV footage had shown her. Upright, intact. Sitting on the ocean floor in the permanent dark like she was, waiting for something. The con tower hatches still open. The darkness inside still total. Elena pressed her face to the viewport. The sonar contact was circling. She could not see it. Whatever it was stayed out of the light, but she could feel it out there in the dark around the bell, the way you feel something large moving in water, near you even when you cannot see it. A pressure change. A displacement. Something patient and enormous in the dark. Price's voice in her ear. Contact is still circling, maintaining distance from the bell. "You are clear." Elena looked at the open hatch on the con tower. "Take me closer," she said. Price brought the bell in until it was hovering 10 feet from the Redfin's hull. Close enough that Elena could see the European's hull. Close enough to read the hull number with her own eyes. SSS 272, her grandfather's handwriting on the back of a photograph. "I'm sorry." She looked at the open hatch. And then she saw the hand. It was gripping the lower edge of the hatch combing from inside. A human hand. Or something that had been a human hand a very long time ago. The fingers were long and still and the color of the deep water around them, and they were holding the edge of the hatch the way a man holds the edge of something when he is about to pull himself up through it, but not moving. Perfectly still, had been still for a very long time. "Price," Elena said. Her voice was steady. She was proud of that. Price, I need you to listen to me carefully. Go ahead, Price said. There is someone in the hatch, she said. One of the crew. I can see a hand on the combing. I need to get closer. I need to see inside. Elena, the contact is still circling. I do not think that is a good idea. Price, there are 99 families who have been waiting 56 years. I need to see inside. A long pause, then 30 seconds. I am pulling you back in 30 seconds. I am pulling you back in 30 seconds regardless. Price brought the bell until it was directly below the open hatch. Elena pressed to the viewport and looked up into the dark inside the con tower. The man in the hatch was looking back at her, not the hand. The man. He was there just inside the opening, half visible in the bell, and he was looking down at her with eyes that had the color and the stillness of deep water. His face was the face of a man in his 30s, young, someone's son, and it had not aged a single day in 56 years. His mouth opened. No sound came through the water and the viewport and the pressure between them. But Elena could read it. She had spent her whole life reading the faces of people who could not say out loud what they needed to say. 2 words. He said, "Go back." Elena looked at him. He said it again. "Go back." And then his eyes moved, not to her, past her. 2. Something in the water behind the bell. Something in the dark that Elena could not see. And the expression on his face, that had been still and deep and patient for 56 years, shifted into something else. Something that looked like fear. Price's voice in her ear, sharp and immediate. "Elena, the contact has stopped circling. Elena, it is moving toward you. I am pulling you up right now." The bell lurched upward on the tether. Elena kept her face pressed to the viewport as they rose. The man in the hatch watched her go, his hand still gripping the combing, his face going back to stillness as the light left him and the dark took him back. In the last second before the bell rose out of range, Elena saw something else in the darkness behind the Redfin. Something large, something that was not the submarine, and was not the ocean floor, and was not the ocean floor, and was not anything she had a name for. It was watching her go, and it was not circling anymore. Chapter 3 ends here. Chapter 4, coming Monday. Subscribe to The Drifting Dark. The crew never left. And now the Navy is coming.